You know, it's one thing to be shopping sales and saving money on food, but it's another thing to manage all that you bring into the house. So my husband and I did a big grocery shop. You might remember in one of my previous videos, I had said that the store's online system was down because of the hurricanes in the south. And so we had to grocery shop the old-fashioned way and actually go in the store, which is why I didn't do a grocery haul. I was like so tired when we got home. But now I really want to clean out the refrigerator. When I say clean out, I mean like get out meats and store them properly. You know, I still have some herbs to dry. So I want to make sure, I need to organize the pantry, get everything organized. That's such an important part of saving money on groceries. Is being organized with your food so that you know even what order you need to cook things in so nothing spoils. So if you're like me and you're trying to save your pennies on food, then I hope this will inspire and motivate you as well as we get the refrigerator cleaned out and the pantry cleaned out and organized. Real life here. So we got the rice pudding. My teenagers love this. We have tofu, 2 packages, which usually my daughter Rachel will go through 2 packages a week. Rhubarb, that I need to chop up, wash, chop, and put in the freezer. These are sauces that my husband Robin makes, so I just need to always be asking him. Garlic goes down here, and then here's another sauce he made. That one I at least know what it is. Some leftover green beans that I need to eat today. Some keto bread. Now I have this partial green cabbage here, but I have a couple recipes I am going to be using green cabbage for, so there's another green cabbage here. Then, getting that out of the way, this is some leftovers that my husband made, some wraps. They have our leftover pork. We had done pork with a homemade sauce that I think I put up. And then in here, what is this? That looks gross, but what is it? I can't remember. Oh, that's the leftover pork. Okay, so here's what's left of the pork. I might actually freeze this, and then if my husband wants it tomorrow, he can just thaw it out. So I think I am going to take that out. And then what is this? This is leftover. Oh, this is curry that was just made last night. Yvonne took half of it to work today, and then half it can go tomorrow. These are Egg Life wraps. I use these for tacos, and my own grocery store is carrying them now. It was the first time I've ever seen them there. Then I bought this broccoli so I could chop the stems off and get it in a produce keeper. So I'm going to do that. Who am I right now doing all of this prep? I watch those channels. Green peppers. I might actually slice these up because I know at least one of them is for a recipe. Then more broccoli. Can at least destem. Here is turkey broth that I made. I had turkey breasts that I made into broth. And I know I put that on the channel, but I didn't show you yet what I got. And I got like 11 cups of broth. So I need to package that up and put it in the freezer. And what I do is I put it in freezer bags, 4 cups per bag. So each bag represents a box of broth. And then, because I need to put my camera down, I'm going to slice up this steak. So you see how it was like $1 off once it gets to a certain date. You got to be so careful because we saw some, I think what was it? It was like sausage or something in a store, and it was discounted. Well, it was already expired. All right, okay, so this is hamburger. I can leave this out for a bit. And then, I'm sorry about that noise, but the chicken legs and chicken quarters were both 99 cents a pound. I don't do a lot with chicken quarters, but I did decide to get us some chicken legs. But I will probably freeze these as well. Now in here, I have green onions. Carrots are for snacking, so I might bring those up so that Yvonne sees them because she's the one who's going to eat them. And I have some parsley that needs to be dried. And somewhere I have dill. What happened to my dill? Oh, there it is. It's not dill. I always say that. It's chive. If I can get that done, I'll be doing it really well. And then you've got to see the mess that my pantry is. I cannot see one bird, I don't think. Ta-da! Here's the mess. Yep, there it is. Of course, it's not a problem. One of the good things is, one of the blessings is people are like, let's save money. Let's stop going out to eat. Let's eat, food from home. Let's pack lunches. And so what is happening is a lot more food in the house because people are wanting to pack lunches. Yvonne, that girl can eat. Don't let her tininess fool you. Half her body is hollow. I swear. I also have my meal plan for this week, which I'm going to share with you. And I do need to quickly look up drying chive for the temperature. So Google is going to be my expert here. Drying chive in the oven. And see. My oven is my dehydrator. I hate it when they show you a video. I want the information. Come on, tell me. I felt like it was a higher temperature than my oregano. Set the oven to 100 degrees to dry your chive. Okay. Oh, this one says between 170 and 180. I like that a lot better. Okay, so I'm gonna get the oh, and then parsley. Let's see. Drying. Probably parsley's going to stay the same. I thought one of them was over 200, but I could be wrong. I should have written it down. Parsley. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. 170. Okay. It says 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to get this stuff washed, dried. I'm going to get the oven on and then we can move on, but since this is going in the oven and it takes some time, I will do this. I'll get this going first. Also expect that soon together we will be getting the yard ready for winter, wintering the plants I have correctly, cleaning up. I need to rake pine spills under my rhododendron, that kind of thing. I need to get mulch over my hyssop, and just doing all those things and cleaning it up. I'm really kind of sad about it, but it happens every year. And getting all the dirt that I use for my containers kind of in a bin with some fertilizer, I think I'll do this year and try that so that it's got nutrients in it for next year and it's not depleted. I really didn't do as much with my chive and parsley as I expected, but no time like the present. So I feel like I already rinsed this off, but just in case I forgot. Sometimes I have to remind myself that the vegetables in the grocery store came out of the dirt too. Don't you ever feel like, oh goodness, what is in this? I hope this is all okay. I hope nothing weird is in it. No weird plant or weed or that I left in there. There's no bugs. I can remember when I lived and we were near a lot of people who were more elderly and farmer type people where we lived. And so they would talk to me, and sometimes they try to freak me out on purpose, I swear. But I was going to grow broccoli, and they're like, oh yeah, just make sure you soak it in salt, and that will get all the worms out. And I was like, okay, I'm not growing broccoli. I never have grown broccoli. Just for that reason. That was too much for me. I got this in my pretty owl towel. That rhymes. So we're just going to let this dry. Okay. And I'm going to spread it out a little so it dries better. Make sure I have any little weeds out or even pieces of chive that, got brown and wilty. Maybe I'll put another towel on top of this. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. So it can still dry in the oven even if it's wet, but I think it's quicker if it's not wet. All right, so all these fall towels. I don't buy these. My daughters buy them and give them to me. This is awesome. Since I am over at the sink anyway, I thought I'll get my rhubarb rinsed so that it can be chopped, and it will go in the freezer chopped. I'll just cut off the ends and, chop it up a bit so it fits in I always store in Gladlock bags or freezer bags in the freezer. It's just easier. Oh, my oven's ready. See, I did find one weed in with my chive. If you hear noises, I already have all the servants of the house rolling. I've got laundry going. I have a load of dishes in the dishwasher. So lots going on in the house. I need a little trash bag. I made a package of muffins. I had gotten a, one of those you just add milk to. It was a Store's Own brand of blueberry muffins to make this morning. It helped coax Yvonne out of bed for work. And let's see. So I baked the blueberries. It was only $1, which is why I bought it. It was on sale, the packaging. And so, but of course, because it was only $1, it only filled 6 muffins. It was only 6 muffins, but I kind of felt like that was actually the advantage because, believe it or not, sometimes our family, because Robin and I don't really eat a lot of sweets. We try not to eat any sweets at all. Sometimes, Rachel can't eat it because gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free. I have to make her a special. But then you've got Yvonne and Ava trying to eat a full batch of blueberries, and they're just not big eaters. So it worked out better to make a 6 muffin batch. Yvonne ate 2 this morning, And then we had some apple cider in the refrigerator because, it's that season. And so I heated her up some apple cider. So she had warm apple cider. I had some cinnamon sticks, so I put a cinnamon stick in it and then made some muffins. And I've had laundry going this morning. My husband goes into work on Mondays, and today's Monday for us. He forgot to put the trash out for the trash guy, so I did that. Got some steps in. So it's actually 12:15 right now. And the other project I have is, I want to get my craft stuff up in my room and get that set up so that can be one of my breaks. Because, I've been talking to you guys about planning breaks. That could be part of your to-do list is what enjoyable thing are you going to do for a break, right? Well, for me, I really want to get going on painting pine cones again. So I'd like to get set up in my bedroom because I recognize if I'm going to have to go up 2 flights of stairs every time I want to take a break and do some pine cones, I'm probably not going to do it, and I haven't been. So, that is going to happen also. It'll be in a separate video though, just kind of makes sense to do it separately. We'll see if I get to that today because I usually about double plan what I think I can do in any given day, because lately I pretty much fizzle at 4 in the afternoon, and I'm lucky to get dinner on the table. So I actually have been thinking about doing freezer meals, and I thought, oh my goodness, again, who am I right now that I'm even in the mood for that? It has to be because, number 1, the weather is cooler, and number 2, besides the weather being cooler, whenever I'm feeling the financial pinch and thinking, oh, I really need to save money, that's when you're going to see me start cooking. Because, usually I can save money by scratch cooking. And, because a lot of the stuff I would use in scratch cooking, we tend to have. So I've also been thinking for baked goods with the holidays coming, I really want to go to Costco and or Sam's Club, and get like flour, sugar, that type of stuff, and kind of save up now. I know I have 3 grandchildren in Vermont, And Grammy definitely wants to go with them and bake some cookies. That sounds like so much fun. They've done that when they visited us here when they were living in Alabama, and the kids remember that, which is so very special. Okay, so no, I'm going to chop these. I was thinking maybe I won't chop them, but no, I need to chop them. Let's get the parsley and the chive in the oven. And here I have some meat sitting here, which wasn't the best idea. So I've never claimed to be organized, but I'm just doing my best over here. But I feel like I should deal with the meat and the broth first so that it's not sitting out getting warm. My house is empty, and that's the second time in a few days. There was some time on yesterday, last night when I had the house to myself. I never have a house to myself. I'm taking out all of these. And then here I am with the house to myself again. I don't even know what to do with myself. So here we are. Last night I relaxed, meaning that I could film today. Usually if the house is empty, I'm like, oh man, I can film and not have all the background noise. By the way, this smaller one I got at the Dollar Tree, and we're really loving it for like stuffed jalapenos, you know, poppers, or the stuffed poblanos, different things, or a small batch of something. You know, I remember a day when using parchment paper was pretty much unheard of. I think, well, although now it's like 30 years ago, but my first time using parchment paper was I was selling Pantry as like a side hustle when my kids were young. I did it for like 18 months, and then I said to the kids, would you rather, because we would take that money, we would always do one thing fun with each check, you know, monthly, but by and large, you know, it went to bills, but we would try to do one fun thing. But I said, would you like the one fun thing, or do you want mom to be home? And they were like, we want mom to be home. So I stopped doing Pampered Chef at that time. But anyways, that was when I first started using parchment, because they came out with a parchment paper. At first it was just the stones, you know, and making a big deal about using the stoneware, and then it was stoneware with parchment, or using the parchment if you don't have a stone. So, you know, when I was cooking or baking at home, we always just put it directly on the pan and then clean the pan. And it's so funny because, you know, don't you feel like the further along we go, we're just using less and less dishes. Like, we use the dishes with a liner on it so that we don't have to clean. Okay, I'm not being super picky about, you know, them not laying on each other. I'll just keep them in there longer. Usually, I am picky about that. I've never actually dried chives before. This is new. So let's just see how it goes. The bottom oven is convection. I love having a double oven so much. But the bottom oven is convection, so I'm going to put those there since I have more of them. And then I just have a small amount of parsley, so I will put that in the top oven. I feel like I'm probably going to use this bigger one. This is so old. Still works. I love the thought of drying herbs. I love using them fresh. I had put them in the parsley in the turkey broth, so that was super satisfying. Oh, fresh herbs, the smell is so amazing. And then when I did my oregano, which you guys would have seen, this is how much oregano I got. So that is very exciting. Okay, so this is all of the parsley, not a ton, and that will go in the top oven. And let's put the timer on 20 minutes just so that I'll check it in 20. To cut up meat, I'm going to use my glass cutting board. So I think what I'm actually going to do, maybe I'll use 2 small freezer bags. I'm probably going to use these both in one recipe of steak and cabbage, which we love to do. It has like an Asian, it's just tamari, garlic, salt and pepper, honestly. It's so easy. Oh, and red bell pepper. So I usually would do both of these. Yeah, I will, won't I? Okay, I'm changing my mind twice while we talk. So the steak is going to go in one Glad-Luck bag all together. So I had gotten them each $1 off. Plus it was a cheaper cut of steak, which, where's my glasses, is perfect because it was $4.99 a pound, which a lot of our beef right now is like $8.99 a pound. And $4.99 a pound, and I bought a pound, and I got $1 off, so it's really $3.99 a pound. So I bought 2 of the smallest ones I could find because I felt like that $1 off gave me more bang for my buck since they all were $1 off. And then, so what you do is, and I've put this on the channel before, you brown the steak and get it kind of cooked through in a pan. And then you add the garlic, the red bell pepper, soy sauce, which we use tamari because it's gluten-free. And you can thicken it with some cornstarch. You throw in some water, or if you really want to up the flavor, you could throw in some either veggie broth or beef broth instead of water, like 1/4 cup of water, 1/2 cup of water. And then you thicken it with some cornstarch. Okay, so once you've cooked the meat, then you're adding in the red bell pepper, the garlic, the cabbage. I usually do a head of cabbage. So I have a couple. Let's see, what do I have on here? I could tell you the recipes. So and I'll try to put each of these on the channel. I'm going to be doing a 1-pot black pepper chicken, which this steak is kind of like the same idea. So the only things I needed to buy that I didn't have in the house was the chicken breast, red and yellow bell pepper, a yellow onion, and a green onion. So I might, if I get very ambitious today, I might even chop up some of those veggies so that I can just do a dump and go on those nights. Who knows? Or I might just make the meal and put it in the freezer because it said you could freeze the leftovers, so why not freeze the whole dish? Then a cabbage roll dinner skillet. So that was a pound of cabbage, and it has ground beef, bell pepper, diced tomatoes, and cheddar cheese, shredded cheddar. That sounded really good to me. I grew up with stuffed cabbage. Ooh. Then I want to do a lentil chili because I still have some red lentils. I'm telling you, 1 bag of lentils, dried lentils. Lentils cook quick. It's not like other beans, you know, that take a long time to cook. So I wanted to do that. It does call for 2 cans of black beans. And when I'm going to put it in a recipe like that, I buy the cheapest black beans I can find. They're like 90 cents a can. Then I also found a recipe for black bean soup where you puree it, which I thought my kids would really like. And that I thought could be frozen since you want the beans to be mushy. So I thought I could freeze it, and then when I defrost it, I could blend it then and just heat it up. So I could either use canned beans, or I do have some dried black beans that I could also do. Okay, that's the only meat I'm actually cutting. So this can go in the freezer. Like so. It is going to be a minute before I have to buy meat again because I have quite a bit from last week too. So as you know, with meats, what I like to do is individually wrap the meat and I think I'm going to put gloves on for this, in saran wrap, pop it in a freezer bag, and then, depending on who's going to be around for dinner, is how many pieces I'll make in one shot. That way I'm not wasting food. And a lot of it depends on whether it's something that's easy to have leftover or not. We don't tend to go for the leftover chicken legs. We don't tend to really eat those well, so I would rather only be cooking exactly what we need. All right, need my saran wrap. I absolutely love plastic wrap. Oh, and another idea I had was homemade pizza, but the last time I did homemade pizza, I didn't get out a glove, you're right. The last time I made homemade pizza, my daughter Ava was like, could you just do a little bit of sauce? And I'd already put on the sauce. Then I had a great idea. I said, okay, the next time I do homemade pizza, I'm not putting any sauce on it, and then we can dip them in sauce, marinara sauce. I thought that would be fun. And then if you only like a little sauce, only dip a little, or don't dip at all. And if you like a lot of sauce, dip a lot. So I'll let you know how that turns out. I'll try to take you along. Some of the reasons I wasn't often cooking on the channel, I mean, I have been trying to increase that in 2024, but it's just because where you tend to cook at night, I'm too tired. Definitely. Sometimes when I'm doing voiceover, it's really because in that moment I was too tired to talk, or I just didn't feel like I was just feeling quiet. I just find it relaxing to be quiet. Also, I was really encouraged in my last video. I was talking to you guys about putting your what you do on a break, the things you enjoy, also on your to-do list, or even if you're doing a to-do list, which is when you write after the fact, at the end of the day, what did you get done that day, to include those things because it gives them a place of honor. And I loved hearing what you guys are doing, what you got to do, just doing fun things. We went apple picking, I loved hearing about the people you were spending time with and how grateful you were. It really was encouraging to me. So today it's sunny out, and these fall days are something to treasure. So I want to tell you that at the end of this that I'm doing right now, I'm going to be heading out and sitting in a chair for a bit, and I'm not going to plan. I might bring a book out, I haven't decided, but I do want to spend some time at least not reading or writing or doing anything. I just want to sit and listen, You get those peepers in the spring, the frogs, but in the fall, you get the crickets and the crows, and just hearing the birds. I need to put some more bird seed out to one of my feeders. One of my feeders gets empty quick, and so I need to put more bird seed out. And then just listen and watch the birds. And then we have a hammock outside. It's the funniest thing, but there's this squirrel, because there's a strap hanging down because it's tied around a tree, the hammock, and there's a squirrel that plays with that strap. It is the funniest thing. But every time, I swear, whenever I bring a camera out there, he doesn't play. It just has real Leo, our cat Leo, it has real Leo energy, that squirrel. Did I even do enough saran wrap? Okay, just barely. Saran wrap can be hard to pull out and hard to rip. You can notice that? Come on, baby. I just feel like all of you that I know of are either in fall or spring, which are both just amazing seasons. And, life can have its ups and downs. And these times and these weather patterns in spring and fall can be the best time to enjoy. I've definitely been praying for all of you in harm's way with the hurricane, and just that you're able to get the resources that you need. Some of you, even though you might not have been hard hit, still struggle to get bottled water. And when you lose power, this is really why I'm more stocked up right now than even usual. because of meat sales, but it is why I don't like to stock up, because it is so hard to preserve meat during a power outage. We do have a generator. Now my Samsung fridge freezer does not work with a generator. I've heard mixed reviews from you all, that some of you it works and some of you it doesn't. But for us it does not. And so I gotta get a freezer bag. I have my old fridge in the basement, and what we do is when we have a power outage, we hook the fridge that's in the basement up to the generator, which is why I won't get rid of that refrigerator. And that fridge works on the generator, but even still, you know, you're lugging it up and down the stairs. But definitely what I might do is have a few things that are easy to heat. You know, like it'd be hard for me to heat like a lasagna, right? But to heat something small that I could either stick in a pan on my little electric burners that I have, a couple of ones that are like 2 that you plug in. Or, let's see. I can run a microwave or a coffee pot, you know, so things that are small, maybe individual portions of soups and casseroles or something, maybe I could do at some point for those times. Okay, so here's the leftover pork, which we just made. When did we make it? Saturday. Today's Monday. I'm much more conservative on how long I will keep meat in a fridge. So, but I do need to remember to tell my husband it's there, because he'll be the one to eat it. Okay, now it's time to package up the turkey broth. Luckily, it's still very thin, because normally I would let it cool, but I did it later in the day, so by the time it cooled, it was like, I'm too tired, I don't care. So it's going to be 4 cups per bag, so that it mimics the boxes I buy. All right, let me go grab a Sharpie upstairs, so because I have chicken broth in there. I want to make sure I know it's turkey broth. So I went upstairs and I was thinking, number one, I have to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, came back downstairs. I also got myself a bar because I was hungry. I don't have my Sharpie. That's what I went up there for. So now I gotta go up there again. I'll be right back. Got my Sharpie. This is how I get the majority of my steps in every day. I was telling someone this morning, when I'm upstairs, I feel like I need something downstairs. When I'm downstairs, I need something that's upstairs. And then I forget things. So, yeah. This is how I get my steps in, people. All right. I think I have 11 cups here. Turkey broth. So I'm going to write 4 cups because one of these is going to be shy. 4 cups. This is exciting stuff. I love it when I get into this type of thing and just preserving. It's been years, I swear. Because even on Thanksgiving, you know, my husband will like, we keeping the bones? And I'm like, no. But a lot of times on Thanksgiving, it's just such a big bird. It overwhelms me a little. Or I want to do it for the channel and I think, oh, it's too late. Everyone's already done their turkey. But so I'm glad to do it early. That way, if you're in Canada, then that was one. Then you can have this help because you haven't had Thanksgiving. And then for those of you that do celebrate Thanksgiving and in November, it's here for you. Just to give you ideas, you know, you're just boiling the bones and you're throwing in some vegetables. And if you want ideas on what herbs besides salt and pepper to throw in there, obviously onion powder, parsley, thyme, but go to the back of, was that? I did 2, right? And this is 3. Go to the back of the box or can and see if they've listed any spices or herbs, and that will give you ideas. But if you do your own gravy, or if you season your turkey, you know, put more of those seasonings in would be really good. This better be 4. Oh, I gotta check my thyme and my oregano. I mean, my parsley. Chive and parsley. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're not done. They're still green. All right, so I'm gonna put, what should I put on the timer? Another 20. Minutes. That way, I'm not gonna let it burn. I don't want it to burn. So let's get the air out here. Trying to kind of lay it down a little bit. And get the air out that way so that I can store it easier laying down. Actually, I don't need to do that, do I? I can just get all the air out and then like, ooh, no, that didn't work. You don't have to be perfect. It still works. You still get to use broth. I'm not perfect. I make a mess every single day. Have I ever mentioned I'm the baby of my family from growing up? I'm the baby of the family. So I'm the mess. I'm the problem, it's me. Now I'm trying to move everything in there so that I can like lay it down on the bottom. Otherwise, it'll be all wonky size. Now I know why I didn't lay it down with the chicken broth. It's not as possible as it seems. I had to squish things in order to shut that. All right. Right on the outside, Karen. Turkey broth, 4 cups. Turkey broth, 4 cups. You know, you could use turkey broth in place of chicken broth. I've noticed that when you're doing a, you know, like let's say it's chili or any kind of casserole or even soups, you know, I understand that turkey has a distinct flavor, but, well, to me, to other of you, it doesn't have any flavor at all. However, if you're even doing something that's a little stronger in flavor, like a chili, it really doesn't matter which broth you use. If you're getting a lot of flavor from whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter which broth you use. Use vegetable, use beef, use chicken, use turkey, use whatever you want. I've never made my own vegetable broth, but that would be cool to do. I don't know why I'm suddenly having a hard time. That was weird. What's wrong with you, Karen? Okay. Here's 2. I gotta focus, or I'm gonna get this wrong. If you're hearing something in the background, it is the convection on my oven. This is 2. And then, I wish I knew what I do with my glasses. This is 3. Maybe it's out in the living room. Oh, what a mess. This is 4. Well, I must have had some that were heavy. So I have like less than a cup left. So I'm going to make this 5 cups. That's what we're going to do. All right, that's done. I'll tell you, the other thing about like cooking from scratch and such, talk about a bazillion dishes. There's just dishes, dishes, dishes. All right. Get all the air out we can, but perfection is not even in my mind. So if I go by, I put the herbs in about 30 minutes ago. So this is all total will probably take me an hour. So let me get the knife. I'm gonna wash it. Now, the outside of a rhubarb is stringy, okay? See that? And, you know, you can choose to go over it with a carrot peeler. I'm not honestly worried about that. I think I will be using a quart size bag this time. I'm really not worried about that. So I'm just gonna chop it, throw it in the bag. And then whatever I'm making, you know, I think probably it's gonna come off from being like frozen and getting more watery. You know, these are gonna be in recipes, but if I see a piece that's like hanging off, I do go ahead and pull it, but I'm not gonna try to get every string off. Or maybe it'll cook so down so much I won't have to worry about it. So, I think rhubarb is one of those things, you either love it or you hate it. So let me know, do you like rhubarb? Have you had it or do you hate it? Have you ever had like strawberry rhubarb pie? That's huge up here. We love our strawberry rhubarb pie. And rhubarb is actually quite expensive in the store. I didn't plant this rhubarb. It is a perennial. So I did not plant it. It was here when we got here, but even smelling it, those spots in the back of your jaw when something is sour, it activates that even just smelling the rhubarb as I cut it up. Isn't that crazy? Oh, I've been just meaning to do rhubarb, but I need to put, as far as a recipe, but I need to put it on a list because I keep doing other things instead with pumpkin and apples. But I've really wanted to do something with blueberries and rhubarb, as well as with strawberries and rhubarb. When I initially got my first batch of rhubarb that I froze, that's still in there, the strawberries just weren't good in the store. So I didn't do anything strawberry rhubarb. But I would love to do something blueberry rhubarb. I've never done that before. I've always done strawberry rhubarb. Or do a rhubarb breakfast cake, something. You know, when you give yourself time to do these things, I'm always surprised that it's actually very enjoyable. It's really not as much of a chore as I can sometimes make it out to be. I'm not looking to chop it up fine or anything. I'm just getting the big stems off. all fit in one keeper. Now we are extremely well stocked right now, but just getting that stuff taken care of and in the freezer gave me so much more room. And now I can see everything at a glance. You know, my carrots, my broccoli. We got leftovers here that are in the front so people can see them. Some makings for salad, some vegan bagels. We got the tofu, the rice pudding, some Jell-O, you know, the condiments, my husband's protein shakes. So this is so much better, and doing this for sure is going to help me not to waste food this week. Stuff's not going to go in, you know, in the trash because I have it stored well. I can see everything, and then my goal is going to be using up all of this meat and the things that I have stored in here before I go buying more. This pantry is like, wow. Can I just say, this is what I battle. Okay? Send my husband and our daughter to a store. This is what we come back with. Okay? But that's all right. It's okay. And this was like in a box, but it doesn't need to be. It's one flavor packet for Indian food. Okay. But what I have to do is kind of get things organized in such a way that it gets used. Like there's really not a ton of this lemonade left. I need to put it where the girls will see it because they're the ones who would drink the lemonade. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm tired. But what I told myself is that, oh, I gotta reset my timer. I told myself I'm spending 10 minutes over here and then I'm done. And then I'm going to go sit down outside. I put some coffee in the freezer that I made up from my K-Cups, and I'm going to make myself a shake, which is my form of a latte with coffee, my Optivia shake, and some unsweetened almond milk. And I'm going to go sit out and enjoy sunshine. It's after 1 o'clock now. It's like 1:15, so 1:30 to 2. I'm just going to sit and listen to birds. And then I'm going to, which you'll see in another video. You might have already seen it, actually, because I'd like to put that one up first. Where was I? I'll get my makeup stuff up out of the basement and get that all organized. So what I have to do is like remove stuff like this and put it lower. I know where it is. I'm the only one who really needs to know where it is. And then stuff that people need to see, like, hello, don't ask for this, we have it. I need to put where folks can see it. But people tend to just throw it in here, which is, it's actually not fine. It's not fine. And then nobody's been eating these popcorn Oval Redenbacher. I don't know why, but I'll give it a little more time. I don't know what I'll do with them. Got lots of snacks here. Which, at least with snacks, if I buy it at the store, you know, I'd rather do that than people are begging for us to stop. We end up stopping at a convenience store. It's really expensive, and on and on. I do decant, like, this type of stuff, because what I do is I mix it all together. You know, all of the snack bars, and also Yvonne's Capri Suns, which she's going through a Capri Sun phase, goes together, and that does take up less space. All right. And then put the lemonade here, because I got cranberry juice here. Got their crackers here. Lollipops here, which I did not buy, just for the record. The girls bought those. My husband needs to remember he's got, I don't remember what this is, some kind of pepper that he buys on Amazon. Oh, where to put it? I'm going to put it up top with the baking. Let me see it. I don't know. Okay. So it's really about managing resources and space. So how many pretzels do we have in here? Quite a few, but the bread needs to be with the peanut butter, which I put here. So it's about strategic placement, people. Bread with peanut butter and fluff, because that's what you're going to use it with. And then I got a container of cans of beans, and I put the cornbread beside it because if we're making a chili, I want to advertise that we have cornbread. All right. So this is so far from perfect, and it has not even been 10 minutes, so I could spend longer on it. Don't know if I want to. Got pasta here. And I have a lot of cans of like tomato sauce, tomato paste, diced tomatoes. We've just been using that stuff a lot. I keep 1 can of green beans, 1 can of beets. That's for me in a pinch. Then I have cans of like kidney beans, black beans. But I also have dried beans that I need to make up. I have 2 boxes of corn muffin mix. And then I have a shelf that's all my daughter Rachel's because she is the one that needs like gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free. So all of her food is on one shelf. Let me show you. Up here is like baking stuff, and then I have my gluten-free flours here, and then there's just a lot of like, I don't know, rice, broth. This is Rachel's gluten-free pancake mix, which I should put down with her stuff. So my marinara sauce is here. This is a good sturdy shelf, that's part of it. My rice, pasta, oatmeal, you know, the mayonnaise stuff. The basket behind is for taco stuff. So this could actually go in there. And then stuff that the girls would do themselves. Well, a lot of the snacky kind of stuff. This is more like rice cake, peanut butter, fluff, and bread for Yvonne because she has those. Then crackers that Ava had asked for, and that's Ava's juice. And then Yvonne and Ava eat those. We got the lemonade so they see it. And then we have the tomato sauce, diced tomatoes underneath where the beans are. And I don't know who bought this. I just know I did not. So I keep putting it in the front, but I got to ask. And then we got Rachel's pasta, her flour, her gluten-free breadcrumbs, tahini, her snacks, oatmeal. Also, these are like Pringles. You get them at Target and they're gluten-free. I like them way better than Pringles. They are so good. Dangerous. And then stuff for cooking down here, but this is a big basket of like chip bags and that sort of thing, things that are just too big. And then those stupid pork rinds and stuffing, you know, spare stuff, shortening, maple syrup, and then my cleaners, any sodas, cat treats, potatoes, that sort of thing are down here. It's a lot in a relatively small space, so we do the best, and then I have, you know, random things here as well. So I am going to go ahead and go outside and enjoy some free time. I'm going to make myself that shake and just listen to birds and get some vitamin D from the sun. And I am going to probably set the timer higher so that it's not calling me inside. For the chive and the parsley I'll just pull off the stem like I did with my oregano, and the chive we'll just chop up, and that will be it.